May those who curse days curse that day, those who are ready to rouse Leviathan. Job, chapter 3, verse 8. Can you pull in Leviathan with a fishhook or tie down its tongue with a rope? Job, chapter 41, verse 1. These are just some of the mentions of the baffling giant sea monster known as Leviathan. No one really knows what it is or where it resides. Like the Loch Ness Monster, it's terrifying, mysterious, and confusing. The term Leviathan today has grown to have metaphorical implications that extend on the original symbolism. Let's take a closer look at the Leviathan Cross, and what it all means. The Leviathan refers to a gigantic sea serpent mentioned in Jewish and Christian religious texts. It's referenced in Psalms, the Book of Isaiah, the Book of Job, the Book of Amos, and the First Book of Enoch, an ancient Hebrew apocalyptic religious text. In these references, the depiction of the creature varies. It's sometimes identified as a whale or a crocodile, and sometimes as a devil itself. In Psalm chapter 74, verse 14, the Leviathan is described as a many-headed sea serpent, which is killed by God and given to the starving Hebrews in the wilderness. The story symbolizes the power of God and his ability to nourish his people. In Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1, the Leviathan is depicted as a serpent, symbolic of Israel's enemies. Here it symbolizes evil and needs to be destroyed by God. In Job chapter 41, the Leviathan is again described as a giant sea monster, one that terrifies and amazes all who look at it. In this depiction, the creature symbolizes God's power and abilities. The general idea is that the Leviathan is a giant sea monster, sometimes identified as a creation of God and at other times as a beast of Satan. The image of God destroying the Leviathan brings to mind similar stories from other civilizations. Zeus slaying Typhoon in Greek mythology, Indra killing the Vitra in Hindu mythology, Marduk destroying Tiamat in a Mesopotamian mythology, or Thor slaying Jormungandr in Norse mythology. Whether these earlier stories inspired the creation of Leviathan, we can't be sure. While the name Leviathan can be broken down to mean wreathed or twisted in folds, today the term is used to refer to a gigantic, powerful creature. It also has symbolism in political theory thanks to the influential philosophical work by Thomas Hobbes entitled Leviathan. So what does the Leviathan represent? A challenge to God. The Leviathan stands as a powerful symbol of evil, challenging God and his goodness. It's an enemy of Israel and must be slain by God for the world to be restored to its natural balance. It can also represent human opposition to God. Power of unity. In the philosophical discourse of Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes, the Leviathan is symbolic of the ideal state, a perfect commonwealth. Hobbes views a perfect republic of many people united under a single sovereign power and argues that just as nothing can match the power of the Leviathan, nothing can match the power of a united commonwealth. Scale. The term Leviathan is often used to describe anything large and all-consuming, usually with a negative bend. There's also a symbol called the Leviathan Cross. Also known as a cross of Satan or the brimstone symbol, it features an infinity symbol with a double-barred cross located at the midpoint. The infinity sign represents the eternal universe, while the double-barred cross symbolizes protection and balance between people. The connection between Leviathan, brimstone, an archaic word for sulfur, and Satanists likely springs from the fact that the Leviathan Cross is a symbol for sulfur in alchemy. Sulfur is one of the three essential natural elements and is associated with fire and brimstone, the supposed torments of hell. Thus, the Leviathan Cross symbolizes hell and its torments, and Satan the devil himself. The Leviathan Cross was adopted by the Church of Satan, along with the Petrine Cross to represent their anti-theistic views. Whether you are referring to the Leviathan monster or the Leviathan Cross, the symbol of the Leviathan inspires fear, terror, and awe. Today, the term Leviathan has entered our lexicon, symbolizing any terrifying gigantic thing. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel. As always, thanks for watching.